We are recording, I remembered. Okay, to get started, like I always would like to do, I'm going to go ahead and open us up in a prayer, and you can participate however you feel comfortable doing, but I'm going to go ahead and dive us on in, okay?
Okay.
All right, dear Lord, I thank you so much for each of the people that are able to be here with us tonight, whether they're on right now live with us or whether they will be listening to a recording later. And I just pray, God, that you would help us to draw in close to you, and that you would be a part of this time, and that you would help us to know best how to lead the people that are looking to us for leadership, that you would give us the confidence we need to be able to do that. You would give us the skills that we need to be able to do that, and the community to be supported in as we grow and look towards helping the most people that we can. So we give you this time and just pray that you would bless it. In your name, amen. All right, so to get started, I just want to go over some quick announcements with you guys. I know that there's been kind of some talk on our team page about the Challenger Tracker app, and it is awesome. Like, it is so good, you guys. Caitlin, Siva, and I have kind of been playing with it back and forth, just holding one another accountable to give it a trial run, and we both are really, really loving it. So I am going to be starting a challenge group on Monday, and the way I'm kind of introducing this, I'm hoping and praying it's not overwhelming for my people in my group, but I'm going to have them in both a Facebook group and with the app. So today I was getting everybody kind of set up with it and helping them through that process. And so far it's been really easy. I know Jocelyn had trouble with downloading the files and stuff to it, but I so far haven't had any issues with that. So I'm not sure if it's from a phone it's more challenging, or if it's because I'm working from a desktop, but I have been able to do it pretty easily. And I'm going to keep you guys posted on how my group goes, but I am hopeful that I'm going to be able to switch over to that because I think it looks awesome. So if you haven't checked it out, give that a try. Also this week, as you guys know, 22-Minute Hardcore came out, and it's crazy awesome. I'm a Tony Horton major fan, so my order's in. I'm set to start it next month. I can't wait. It's gonna be a good one. I'm positive it will be. I hope you get some people hooked up with it. And then I also wanted to do some recognition from last month. I haven't got our big celebratory post up yet. It'll be up tomorrow. I think I kind of overwhelmed people announcing new coaches today. So I was like, okay, enough business posts for the day. But anyway, I do want to recognize you guys. So Lives Change Club last month, almost there. We had one of our new coaches, Christina Hickman, and then Stacy and Alyssa were almost there. So that means that they helped one or two people, and that's awesome. Success Club 5, Lives Changed 5, we had Tammy and Jill. And then people that blew the roof off, crazy amount of points. It was so exciting to watch. We had Victoria and Megan Peters and Trina, and then Jocelyn as well. So you guys killed it last month. It was record-breaking month for many people. I know several of you got your top ever points, which is so exciting. And I just was excited too to see we had 30 new coaches added to our Team Heart page just last month. So that is awesome. And it just makes me so proud because I know that many of you in those months of October, November, December, it was challenging. It was really hard. And there were many of you that were getting started at that point in time. So it was very, work and not seeing a lot of results at that point in time. And you were consistent. You kept doing what you needed to do, and it's paying off in these first months of the year. So you guys are doing great. Keep that momentum going. Congratulations. All right, so the meat of our talk tonight, I've been, kind of watching where you guys are at, seeing what I think would be most helpful, and I know that most of you that are going to be on the call tonight are people that are striving for becoming diamond coaches and beyond that, really building strong and successful businesses. So I wanted to give you guys a training on something, the things that I wish I would have known when I was at your point, things that are easy for me now that I was totally clueless about where you are at. So my hope is in giving you guys some of these keys to what have made me successful at this point will help you to get there quicker than I have. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on my screen share here. Let's see. Let's see how I do this. Exit full screen. Can you see my screen? Not yet. There we go. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to mute everybody just because sometimes it gets echoey when I'm in the middle of talking. And if you, at some point though, I'll kind of try to watch our video screens over here. While I'm going, if you have a question in the middle of it, feel free to, click your unmute button and just say, Christy, stop, I have a question right here, because I'm going to try to cram a whole lot into this little bit of time, okay? So let's see here. How do I manage mute all? There we go. All right. Okay, here we go. So how to build a thriving diamond business and keep it. I'm going to give you guys tonight 5 tips, 5 things, 5 areas that I felt like would be the most helpful for you, like I shared. We're going to be going over how the vital behaviors, challenge groups, and training your new coaches are key to creating a solid diamond business. Achieving team leader on the leadership ladder, why that's important. Number 3 is continuing on no matter what. Number 4 is knowing your season of hustle. And 5 is leading by example. So we will dive right on in here. Okay, so how do the 3 vital behaviors, and actually Carl just upped it to 4. Did you guys catch that on one of the recent calls? He's throwing in there a 4th one of recognition, making sure that you're recognizing your challengers and your coaches. Everybody likes that affirmation, so he wants to make sure that that's a part of our vital behaviors too. So soon you're going to see that it's 4 instead of 3. So 3 vital behaviors, challenge groups, and trainings. How do those have to do with creating a solid and successful diamond business? Well, they have everything to do with it. Those are your non-negotiables. No matter what's going on, that kind of thing, if you want to be solid diamond, those are the things that you're going to have to make work without fail. So 3 vital behaviors, as you know, being a product of the product, making your health a priority first and foremost is absolutely key. Do we all have times where we fall off? Absolutely, yes. That's part of being relatable. That's part of being real and not being a robot that can do this perfectly all the time. We're not perfectionists, but we are people that are striving for being healthy at all times. Personal development, making sure that you are working on building yourself up at all times is extremely important, because there are times where we get dragged through the mud. There are times where we get negative, nasty comments. There are times where you don't feel like you're a leader. There are times where you just don't feel like showing up on certain days, and you need that in your mind on a daily basis to help you show up and be the best you that you can be for your team and for yourself. So that's incredibly important. And then, of course, inviting every day. So those 3 things, mastering those 3 things and becoming efficient with them are what diamond coaches do. And when they have them mastered and when they have them in an efficient manner, that they're completing those things, that is when they're successful and when they're solid. So what helps you to hit efficiency with those things? The number one thing that I can tell you guys that I wish I would have known when I was at your point is tracking. And I have said that so many times. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with that. But tracking is incredibly, incredibly important. Once I learned about tracking, once I learned about my business activity tracker or whatever system you have that you're doing, once I figured that out, things took off for me. I cannot emphasize that enough, you guys. So my proof here, you guys have seen me use this before. I track every single thing that I do every day on here. I take it from here, I put it into my notebook so that I can look back on my months that were awesome and go, what did I do then? How do I push even beyond that if I have goals that are further than that? Tracking those things and being organized with that is critical, okay? And then as well as that, the things that Trina kind of trained us on back in January, when you set your goals, you need to have, some kind of accountability system for yourself on tracking your goal setting. So I wish I could flip my computer screen around for you guys. I have right in front of me here, I have a big whiteboard up on my office wall. Maybe you don't have space for that. That's okay. You can do it in a notebook. You can do it on a piece of paper, whatever it is. Trina showed us to do it on a calendar, where you can mark it off each day as you go. But what I have done is I took the top 10 goals that I had for the year. I have them on the left side of my board. I have my March goals on the right side of my board. And then I have in the middle my weekly goals, the things that I have to focus on for that week. So taking the top 10 or whatever you set as your main goals for the year and reverse engineering them, breaking them down backwards, like actually in ways that you can measure, measurable ways, turning those into monthly goals and then into your weekly goals and then turning that into your daily task list. It sounds crazy hard, but it's really not. Like once you actually sit down and do it, it's not that hard and it will change things for you. You won't feel as scrambled. You won't feel as, how many can I get in today? It actually makes things measurable for you and will help you so much with your efficiency. Because that's probably one of the hardest things that we have to learn when we first start in this business is, how do we get everything in? How do you get everything done in a day? And becoming efficient at those 3 vital behaviors is key. Okay, so challenge groups. Solid Diamond coaches, I'll just give you a number. Numbers are where it's at with this. 5 new challengers every month, okay? You're running at least 1 challenge group every month. Maybe you have a recurring group. Some people do that. But no matter what, Solid Diamond coaches have at least 5 new challengers every month. They also have 5 new coaches every single month. So that gives you kind of a number to put in your head as what is common, what's average for most Solid Diamond coaches, okay? And then you're running those challenge groups and you are training them without fail, okay? Some coaches run actual coach training groups. I've done that before. Some of you guys have been in training groups with me. Right now, I'm using the email format for my training. And for me, that's working really well because it helps me to see who dives in, who does those things, and then who's ready to one-on-one meet with me to go further. So you just need to pick what your training system is going to be. You can use the same one as me, or you can set up a group, or if you're good at making videos, you can make a video series to give them when they get started. Whatever you want to do for you, you just need to make sure that you have some system in place for getting them started right. Okay, second tip is achieving team leader on the leadership ladder every single month. So if you are not certain about what that is, leadership ladder, when you log into your back office, you know how it has a little box there that tells you your Success Club points and whether you've qualified for the month or not. One of the tabs at the top there is the leadership ladder tab. And basically, like where that came from is the executives, the high-ups at Beachbody took the top and most successful coaches and studied what their common stats were on volume that they achieved in a month, Success Club that they achieved in a month, how much money they were earning in a month, how many people on their team were achieving Success Club, and then their rank, what rank they are at that point in time. They figured out the commonalities between those that were successful, and they broke that down into the leadership ladder. So most solid diamond coaches land in the team leader category, okay? And the qualifications for becoming a team leader are earning $1,000 for the month. That's your total. Hitting at least Success Club 5 for the month. Having 4 personally sponsored coaches hitting at least 1 Success Club point for the month. And this is a big one. This is a hard one right here. Minimum of 5,000 team volume on your weak leg for the month. And then holding that diamond coach rank or higher. So I will tell you guys, many of you are probably staring at that weak leg volume going, what? That's like crazy far away. You will get there though, and it comes from helping your personally sponsored coaches learn how to hit Success Club. So you know how they always say Success Club is everything in this? It truly is, because that's where it takes you teaching your people how to help others, how to basically help them and get them plugged in with a system that works for them. So those are the things that you have to do to get to team leader. And I will tell you guys, it took me, let's see, I didn't hit team leader until October of this year, okay? It took a long time for me to get to that point, but I also didn't have, I didn't have a clear path in front of me. Like I'm hopefully laying out for you guys on the activities you need to be doing each day to get to this quicker, okay? Many other coaches have their personally sponsored coaches hitting team leader within 3 or 4 months. So it is definitely attainable for those of you that are already at Emerald. This should be something that you're setting your sights on, working towards these goals every single month, okay? And when I say like my monthly goals that I have up on my board, many of them are tied into what you see right here. So I have, for my monthly goal, I have an amount well above the $1,000 for the month. And I track that every week. Where am I at on that? I have up there hitting, like I have for my goal, Success Club 10 by the 10th of the month. That's one of my big goals. I have you guys, many of you, my personally sponsored, you're on my board right now for helping and making sure that you're getting the Success Club for the month. So I have that up on my board, and I tick it off as you guys get there and as you are successful. I make it my goal to help you be successful with that. And then my team volume, I'm staring at that all the time. Like I'm constantly looking at that leadership ladder, checking in on my team volume, where it's at and where I need to be helping my coaches so that you're building up your team volume and also helping build our team volume as a whole. So those kinds of things, you just look at this and you figure out how to reverse engineer it, break it down week by week, month by month, until you get to this point. And then you move on and you go to the next step on the ladder. But diamond coaches, solid diamond coaches, are team leaders every single month on that leadership ladder. Okay, next one, third tip, do not stop, okay? I say this with so much love, but what I see happen a lot of times, and I've seen with people that have actually left our team, and what I've seen on our greater team from people that were so solid and doing so well and had such a great future before them, they push like crazy. Activities increase to get to the rank that they're trying to achieve, whether it be Emerald, Ruby, Diamond. They're working so hard for it, and then they reach it and they're like, yes, I did it. And then they stop, and those activities go back down, and then they end up losing their rank. So the thing that you have to do is figure out what activities for you it takes to get to that rank, and then just continue doing that. Make that your norm. Continue that. You have to continue what gets you there in the first place, because that is what creates your foundation, okay? Going on. Okay, seasons of hustle. Okay, so like I said here, your foundation that you are working on right now, as you're doing these daily activities, you're building your foundation for the type of team that you are creating, okay? So if you are somebody who's hitting Success Club in the first part of the month, and then you're working the rest of the month to try to build up the team, the little team that you have going right now, if you're doing those things, the people that join your team are going to do those things. So making sure that you are showing them and paving the way for that, okay? And then building that foundation for yourself on what is your status, not status quo, but what you need to be doing all the time. And through that, when you hit rank, when you hit Emerald, or when you hit Diamond, or when you hit Star Diamond, those kinds of things, you cannot just be shooting for the bare minimum to get there. So like those of you right now that are working towards Ruby, you're trying to build an Emerald on one leg and an Emerald on the other leg. You need to make sure that you're not just setting your sights on those 2 emeralds and calling it good. You know, like you need to be setting your sights on those 2 emeralds and then still be looking for other people that are going to become emerald as well. So it's always not just looking at the bare minimum, but pushing beyond that and trying to go further. Because once you hit that rank, it's really easy to lose it if you've just set that as your, you know, I'm getting there, I'm going to get that rank. If you just sit it at that, you'll lose that rank really quickly. And I will tell you guys, when I became Diamond, I wasn't all in on my business. I was just kind of doing it as a hobby, and I made it to Diamond, which was awesome. But I lost my Diamond rank, gosh, probably like 10 times. I would go Diamond and I would drop off, and I'd go Diamond and I'd drop off. I did that over and over and over and over again because I never built a buffer. I got to Diamond and I was kind of like, cool, I'm here. And then when I'd see one of my coaches would go inactive, I'd be kind of in panic mode, trying to find somebody to take that place. And I didn't continually keep pushing forward and keep working towards going beyond Diamond. And so the situation I've been in now is I've been Diamond for, like 10 months now, and I haven't rank advanced. So during that time where I wasn't really working my business, I didn't build a buffer. I was constantly just trying to keep rank all the time, filling those gaps. And once I started realizing that I needed to set bigger goals and I needed to track and become more efficient with that, now things are taking off for me. So it's important to look beyond just that end goal, that end result that you want, and see what it's going to take to hold that. So like those of you that are working for Diamond eventually, right? 4 coaches on each side, and then you have 1 Emerald out of those 4. You need to be looking for many more than 4, you know, on each leg. You need to be continually looking for more, and then spotting the people that are going to be, you know, those that want to work and become Emerald. So not just 2, but look for 4 on those legs that want to be Emerald, so that you have that buffer kind of built in, okay? And I know probably in your minds you're like, that seems like so incredibly hard. Like, how do I find 4 people? But really, it's not. If you set it as a goal and you visualize that and you track for it and you set the numbers that you're going to have to talk to every day to get there, you break it down, it becomes less of a daunting task and more attainable, okay? All right, so let me get into the seasons of hustle. I got kind of on a tangent there. You do not need to be in your business going 150 miles per hour all the time, okay? If you're doing that, you're going to burn out, and you're going to have points where you are like, I'm so done with this. I am in this for freedom. I'm in this for financial freedom, for time with my family, things like that. You're going to feel like you are tied to this nonstop. And I think it's really easy for us to get into that position. One, because doing this business is fun. Like, it really is. I enjoy it. And I could sit at my computer messaging people and encouraging them. And, working with people. I could do it all the time. I just think it's fun. But at the same time, you're going to burn yourself out if you do it nonstop. So you don't have to do it all the time. You need to look at your overall calendar, know the times in your months, the times in your year where you're going to be able to give it that 150 miles per hour, that 101%, the moments when your momentum is starting to really shoot off. Those are those times where you have to jump on board and ride with it and be ready for it. So I want to give an example. Somebody on our team, Jocelyn, I don't know if y'all saw her last month. She had 22 Success Club points at the end of the month, right? Like, that was crazy for her after having, 2 or 3 months where she was barely getting to SC5. And she all of a sudden had this month where it just took off like crazy. And those are the momentum moments where your consistent daily activities are paying off. That momentum takes off. And it's in those moments where you just have to be ready and run with it, okay? So right now, I've even seen Jocelyn already has points on the board for this month. She's following that momentum and taking off with it. And I could see her hitting diamond this month. I could see that happening because the momentum is on her side right now. So it's important to be in tune with what is going on with your business, how your followers are responding to you at that point in time, and being ready to just go with it at that point. In the moments where maybe it's not a season of hustle, a time where you just feel like it's dragging a little bit more, it's important to still be consistent with the things that are your non-negotiables, so that you are still pushing to get to Success Club 5, or you are pushing to hold your rank. It's important to recognize those times and still be consistent enough to reach, those things that are non-negotiables. But these times where it is just going, things are going all your way, you have to be ready to run with it. And be willing to do 1% more than others are willing to do. So an example from my perspective, right now, I feel like I'm in a time of hustle. I feel like things are really going my way. So I'm trying to be available as often as I can. And during those times, it requires sacrifices. So going in the evenings, a lot of times I would try to take 3 nights a week where I would go do a bath, or I would go watch The Bachelor. I like those kinds of shows. So I do that kind of stuff in the evening. 3 nights a week I'd set aside. And right now I'm only doing that maybe once a week because I know that I need to be really working 150% at this point in time. So knowing those moments where you have to make sacrifices is important. And then also knowing the times where it's not going that way and you can kind of take a breather and you can step back and reflect and work on you a little bit and take some time to build yourself back up. Being able to determine those times, solid diamond coaches do that. And especially the people that are even beyond that, they can tell you when they're in a time where they're pushing really hard for a goal, or when they're in a time of kind of maintaining and staying where they're at. So being aware of those things is important. Uh-oh. It's freezing on me. There we go. Okay. Final tip here. Oh, you guys, I'm seeing my time is saying 7 minutes. So if it goes off, just like we've done in the past, just click back in from our team page, okay? Final tip for you guys, leading by example, going first. This is something that it comes from my heart. I'm pretty passionate about this specific topic. I have watched several coaches, not from our team, not even from our greater team, but maybe I've even just ran into challengers that have had coaches like this, but they have people that even it seems like they just rope them into signing up as coaches so they can get Success Club points or volume. And then they just kind of let them go. And they say, good luck. And then they never check back in with them. They aren't really, truly caring about the people on their team. And I just can't fathom that. Like, to me, you guys are special to me. You guys, I feel so blessed that you would even be willing to pick to be on this team and to work with me and all of the people on our team. And it's important to know that when people sign up with you, they're counting on you. They trust you. There's so many Beachbody coaches. What are we up to now? Like, I don't know, is it 400,000 Beachbody coaches now? There's so many out there. And when somebody chooses to be on your team, it is important that you take that to heart, that you take that as a responsibility, that they are counting on you. And that can kind of be scary, right? People need you to lead them, and maybe you don't feel like a leader. This is where personal development is really important if that's you. Being willing to learn how to lead that team is something that successful diamond coaches do. They will dive into leadership books. They will dive into leadership podcasts. They will do things that help them to become the leader that their team needs them to be. Take that leap of faith, step up, and be that leader for your team. Even if you right now have 4 people on your team, you should still be taking on that air of leader. You may not feel like it at all at this point in time. You may be feeling like you have to kind of fake it. Your team asks you a question. Somebody asks you a question. You're like, okay, I got to go search that answer out. I don't know. That's okay. It's totally okay to be leading from that place at this point in time. But you need to have in your mind that you are going to be a strong leader, and you're going to do what it takes to become that leader. I know I can tell you guys honestly that this right here, leading a team call like this, if you would have even asked me 6 months ago if I would have been doing this, it was not in my plan at all. I thought, Raina runs great team calls. I'll just always tag team on hers, and I'll do other things for my team. But then I started kind of feeling that pull that this is something that it is going to take for me to become a better leader for you guys. You need me to be the one leading you. And so I have stepped up and am, making my way through it. I don't know that these are necessarily the greatest calls ever yet, but I'm doing it. I'm here and I'm trying my best, and I'm taking steps forward towards building myself up to be a better leader for you guys. So know that things that seem so out of the realm of possibility for you as a leader might be ways that you're leading down the road. And you need to be ready and willing to take that leap of faith and that initiative to be the leader that people need you to be. So, and then, of course, it takes action. You can't just do the personal development and read all the books and say, oh yeah, I've got all this knowledge in here now. I'm reading all these things, but it takes the step of actually putting those things into action and facing fear. I think that oftentimes our greatest success as leaders is right on the other side of our fear, our greatest fears. And facing those fears can be absolutely daunting and can be very overwhelming and can build up so much anxiety within us. But once we actually take the step towards facing those fears as leaders, great things can happen. Things that could never have happened if we had not ever faced that fear and attempted to do what it takes to be a leader. So I greatly encourage you guys to put, even at this point in time with your businesses, put effort into building yourself up as a leader. If you don't have a team page yet, start your team page. You may have like 2 coaches in there that are discount coaches. That's okay. Go ahead and start posting in there and, pretending that you have a team that's ready and willing to listen, because the more you practice it and do it, the better it will be when you have people that are wanting to truly be led by you in that way. So do those things that top coaches do. Start seeking that out. Figure out what it is for you that you think you might need to be doing, and step up and give it a try. You'll get more and more comfortable with it the more that you do it. So, and then, of course, identify your constants. Like I said, there are times where you're going 105% all the way. There are times where you're not going all the way, but you still need to be there for your team. You still need to be there for your challengers. You still need to be doing those vital behaviors on a daily basis, no matter what's going on in your life. So Diamond coaches make it a priority no matter what. And you need to identify for you what those no matter what's are, what those constants are, and make sure that you're the boss. You don't cancel on yourself. Okay? All right. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I just wanted to open up the end part here for question and answer. And it looks like we're at the 1 minute countdown on our call. So if you don't have any questions at this point in time, we'll see you again on the 3rd Thursday of this month. And those of you that have questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop us at this point, and then I'll go back in if you have questions that you want to talk through with me. Okay? Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and close it out so it doesn't do it in the middle of a question that I'm answering, and I'll hop right back on in a second, guys. Okay? See you in a few.